Good evening. I'm Carm Bazil, CEO of CDTA and Chairman of the Board of Directors of United Way of the Greater Capital Region. During the COVID pandemic, United Way has helped lead an unprecedented philanthropic response for our families and our neighbors. Over the last few months, we have all lived through some degree of crisis, missing loved ones, not being able to visit our favorite store, or going without a haircut. But for many, the impacts have been more severe, and some live in crisis all year long. United Way is there to fight for those families and those individuals and to improve the quality of life for everyone. Tonight we pause and thank our supporters who empower us through their financial contributions and their time. So from all of us at United Way, thank you for your support. And now, it's my pleasure to introduce the President and CEO of United Way of the Greater Capital Region, Peter Gannon.
Good evening. Welcome to United Way of the Greater Capital Region's 2020 Annual Awards. I'm Peter Gannon, President and CEO at United Way of the Greater Capital Region. I want to start tonight by saying thank you for your continued support of United Way and joining us for our first ever virtual awards experience. How great was Wild Adriatic during cocktail hour? I hope you got a request or two in and you're ready to get started with this evening's program. As you know, the health and safety of our staff, partners, and supporters is always our top priority, which is why we had to pause on our traditional in-person awards event this year. That said, our organization is fueled by the generous spirit of the entire Capital Region, and we wanted to take this opportunity to recognize and thank all the hand raisers and game changers who help us make an impact and better the lives of others in our community every single day. We will announce the 2020 Philanthropist of the Year and acknowledge the tremendous career and generosity of James J. Barba, President Emeritus at Albany Med, as the sole inductee of the Capital Region Philanthropy Hall of Fame Class of 2020. The impacts of systemic racism touch every corner of our country, and the Capital Region is no different. The need for change has never been more apparent. At United Way, we're committed to that change. In February, we selected the first participants in our 5 to Watch initiative, which will issue grants annually to 5 community-based organizations with leadership from underrepresented communities. The grantees are innovators and will leverage United Way and our partners to amplify their impact across the Capital Region. The first cohort of 5 to Watch leaders will be announced a little bit later in the program. The COVID pandemic has challenged us all to rethink the way we live, play, and work. That's why we are proud to have partnered with the Community Foundation for the Greater Capital Region and many other corporate and philanthropic partners and individual donors to lead an unprecedented response to this crisis, providing critical grants to frontline organizations meeting our community's needs throughout the pandemic. Together, we've raised more than $1 million that is being directly invested back into our community to help our neighbors who were severely and disproportionately impacted by the crisis. At the end of the program tonight, we have a few special awards for local pandemic heroes who've shown incredible leadership and have had a critical role in the response and recovery for our region. Before I hand over the mic, let me thank my team at United Way for their work in making tonight possible and our partners at Sheehan Productions. But none of this would happen if it wasn't for our sponsors. Thank you, Albany Med, American National, CDPHP, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, and CDTA for your support. I'd also like to thank the members of United Way of the Greater Capital Region's TOCQUEVILLE Society, who help us change lives through their philanthropic leadership. Tocqueville Chair John Nigro, Wally and Jane Altus, Robert Curley, Robert Doyle, George and Eileen Earle, Alan Goldberg, Esther Masry and her husband Morris of blessed memory, Norman and Mickey Masry, Neil Golub and his wife Jane of blessed memory, Dr. Shirley Ann Jackson and Dr. Morris Washington, the Percy Waller Foundation, and Brian and Beth O'Grady. I also want to thank the United Way Board of Directors for their support and critical work, especially our chair, Carm Bazil from CDTA. These dedicated volunteers help us every day to further our mission. As you're watching the program tonight, you can text Awards 20 to 41444 and make a donation to our Community Care Fund, which supports our year-round programming, including our nationally recognized Summer Meals Collaborative, or our Family Neighborhood Resource Centers providing support to families in need, or the 211 helpline, which is available 24/7, 365 to connect people to resources in their community. Every donation makes a difference in the impact we're able to have in our community. So text now, awards 20 to 41444. We're also excited to have a silent auction happening right now with some amazing items. It's open now, and we'll put the link to the auction in the comments of this video, and you can also find it by visiting our website at unitedwaygcr.org/awards. Lastly, we hope you're enjoying your evening, and we encourage you to share that you're attending our annual awards tonight by sharing this video and posting any photos you take on social media. I hope we'll be seeing a ton of Instagrams of those cheese boards from the Cheese Traveler. And when you post, make sure your post is public and tag us at United Way GCR. We'll give you a shout out when we see your post. Now, to get things started, we'd like to acknowledge our 2020 inductee to the Capital Region Philanthropy Hall of Fame, James J. Barba, President Emeritus at Albany Med. We're pleased to honor Mr. Barba for his distinguished leadership at Albany Med and legendary philanthropic work throughout the Capital Region. We'll formally celebrate his induction in June of 2021. However, we have a few special guests with us tonight to help us acknowledge his remarkable contributions to our community. With that, I hand it over to Dr. Dennis McKenna, President and CEO at Albany Med. Dr. McKenna?
Thank you, Peter, and thank you all for joining us for this very special virtual community event. Albany Med is proud to support and partner with United Way of the Greater Capital Region and delighted to be part of this evening's program. The coronavirus pandemic is challenging our community in many, many unprecedented ways, but the efforts to meet them have been nothing short of extraordinary. Individuals and organizations like United Way have provided and continue to provide an incredible amount of support and resources to the many people in our community who need them most. And during it all, our community has been there for Albany Med in so many extraordinary ways. And for this, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Tonight, we celebrate a number of exemplary individuals and local companies who, without a single doubt, make our community a better place to live and work. Congratulations to you all. I would also like to congratulate someone who is near and dear to Albany Med, James J. Barba, our President Emeritus, who is acknowledged tonight as the only 2020 inductee into the Capital Region Philanthropy Hall of Fame. As many of you know, Jim led Albany Med as President and CEO for 25 years until his retirement a few months ago. Under his leadership, Albany Med went from an institution on the brink of bankruptcy to the leading healthcare provider in the region, a vast organization that delivers a scope of medical treatments typically only available in major metropolitan areas. Of course, he believes, as do I, that Albany Med has a profound obligation to the citizens of our community to provide the best patient care to everyone who walks through our doors, to educate and train the healthcare providers of tomorrow, and to support brilliant scientists as they work to find better treatments and cures for diseases. That is a great legacy, but to it, please add another, which we celebrate tonight. Jim has a distinguished history of service to our community. By his example and leadership, Albany Med has shown a commitment to the community in ways that have set the platinum standard. We have partnerships with dozens of organizations, and he has served and continues to serve in numerous leadership roles in our community. He is a sounding board, time and again, for community leaders and has mentored countless among them. I venture there is no one who champions this community more and supports it with such verve. Please join me in saluting Mr. Jim Barba this evening for his tremendous impact on our community. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic and social distancing requirements, we cannot celebrate in person. However, Jim will be officially inducted into the Capital Region Philanthropy Hall of Fame in June 2021. We hope to see you all then. Until then, stay safe, take care of yourself, and take care of each other. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. McKenna, and thank you for all you've done for this community over the past few months. We're so proud of our partnership with Albany Med and look forward to working with you together for the betterment of our community in the future. We have one more special guest with us tonight to acknowledge the tremendous career and generosity of Mr. Barba, a member of the inaugural class of the Capital Region Philanthropy Hall of Fame and United Way's TOCQUEVILLE Society. I'd like to welcome President Shirley Ann Jackson from Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute.
It is a great pleasure to be able to say a few words about this year's inductee into the Capital Region Philanthropy Hall of Fame, my dear friend, Mr. Jim Barba, President and CEO Emeritus of Albany Medical Center. He is indeed a Hall of Famer, a lawyer by training, but always an active community volunteer. He was invited to join the Board of Trustees of Albany Medical College in 1979. In 1994, when the consolidated Albany Medical Center was on the verge of bankruptcy, he was named its chairman. After two CEOs left after very short tenures, unable to resolve the challenges, Jim was asked to become president and CEO in 1995. From then until his retirement this spring, he provided visionary leadership, elevating patient care at Albany Medical Center Hospital, which serves as the sole locus for tertiary and level 1 trauma treatment for 3 million people, and advancing medical education and biomedical research at the Albany Medical College. Among his many accomplishments in clinical care was the creation of the Masry Family Children's Emergency Center, the only pediatric emergency department in the region. Aside from running his own extremely complex organization superbly, he also has been one of Albany and the Capital Region's most energetic and dedicated citizens. A native of Dove Street, he understood that Albany Medical Center served the surrounding community. Yes, by offering it superb medical care, but also being the largest private employer in the region. So he made sure to offer Albany's growing immigrant population and others from disadvantaged backgrounds stepping stone jobs and routes to advancement. He saw the obligations of Albany Medical Center as a neighbor as well, and found the right mechanisms to encourage investment and revitalization in the area surrounding the medical campus and beyond. Jim served on the Capital Region Economic Development Council when I was one of the initial 2 co-chairs of the council, and we worked together in developing its initial strategic plan. Jim later became a co-chair of the Capital Region Economic Development Council. He also saw that Albany Medical Center had to be both a regional leader and a role model in terms of philanthropy, which is why the United Way of the Greater Capital Region honors him today. In 2019, the organization I lead, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, awarded Jim Barba an honorary Doctor of Laws at our commencement, recognizing his myriad achievements. In a remarkable speech to our graduates, a remarkably patriotic speech, Jim called inertia the cruelest of all sins, and reminded our graduates of their obligation to engage with the world and to make life better for others. This is the credo Jim Barba always has lived by, and over a lifetime, he has made the Capital Region a more prosperous, optimistic, healthy, and kind place, always working for others and with others for the greater good. It has been such a privilege to work with him over the past 2 decades, and on behalf of the United Way of the Greater Capital Region, I thank Jim for all of his accomplishments, for being my great friend, and for serving as such an inspiration to me and to all who know him. Thank you very much.
Thank you, President Jackson. And thank you again, Mr. Barba, for your visionary leadership at Albany Med and throughout our community. We look forward to formally celebrating your induction into the Capital Region Philanthropy Hall of Fame next June. We all know the Capital Region has an amazing culture of philanthropy. We get to see it every day in our work at United Way. Last year, we sought a way to recognize the hand raisers and game changers of our community who make a major impact every day. Tonight, we're pleased to have last year's Philanthropist of the Year, Anne-Marie Lannesy from Albany Med, with us to tell you a little bit about this prestigious award. She's going to introduce you to our finalists and announce the 2020 Philanthropist of the Year. But before I hand it off to Anne-Marie, I want to take a second to thank our esteemed committee who helped us select this year's Philanthropist of the Year. Kashana Owens-Cody from the Alliance for Better Health, Courtney Buckley from Northwestern Mutual, the Tronco Group, Diane Cameron from Unity House, Mark Duffy of CEFCU, and Jamel Mosley from Melly Media. And now it's my pleasure to introduce the 2019 Philanthropist of the Year from Albany Med, Anne-Marie Lannesy.
Thanks, Peter. I'm Anne-Marie Lannesy, founder and CEO at Albany Med, a Capital Region nonprofit that advocates for inclusive tech talent through workforce training courses and hands-on K-12 coding programs. We work with partners across our communities to assure all people, adults and children, have access to tech education and a pathway into our region's tech sector workforce. I was honored to be chosen as the United Way's 2019 Philanthropist of the Year, and I'm so pleased to be here tonight announcing the 2020 Philanthropist of the Year. This award is for individuals who made an impact through a generous donation, volunteering, or founding or leading a nonprofit. Tonight we are joined by 3 finalists. One who saw a need to provide transformative educational and workforce experiences to underrepresented young adults, one who participates in extensive community involvement both personally and professionally, and one who provides hot meals and needed essentials to homeless and those in need. The work of all 3 finalists is truly inspiring, and for that reason, each finalist will receive $1,000 for their nonprofit or a nonprofit of their choice. Let's learn more about their work.
I've really grown to become aware of the impact that I have, or my team members have, my agents have, my family can have on something, and that kind of awareness has been invaluable to me. I'm Brian Brosen. I'm a licensed associate broker with the Capital team at eXp Realty here in Schenectady, New York. We started the Capital team in 2004 and have grown the team over the years to help people with residential and commercial real estate needs. I firmly believe that in order to be a good businessman and a good neighbor, you need to give back to your community. Some of the organizations that I've been involved with are Capital City Rescue Mission, various LGBTQ organizations in the area with various missions, along with Street Soldiers and Best Buddies, those 2 organizations which I am most passionate about. Best Buddies we got involved with about 4 or 5 years ago. Our family is a very cool little tribe that we've built through adoption of kids with different challenges. The mission of Best Buddies for inclusion for everybody was one that really resonated with us. So we signed up for a walk over at Crossgates Mall, and from that day forward, I've been connected with Best Buddies on corporate fundraising and promotion for the organization, trying to build up the brand and the recognition of who they are. I learned about Street Soldiers honestly through Facebook and through social media posts. I had been actively searching for an organization that I could have a street level impact. Street Soldiers is a loose affiliation of fantastic people looking to help out those who need help. As we've helped to kind of organize Street Soldiers a little bit, we have taken over and we've kind of run what we call the pantry department. We've converted the office at our house into literally a walk-in food pantry that my partner spends hours on organizing and stocking. And then we put together 100 bags of food to bring every Sunday afternoon to Street Soldiers and hand out to those in need. It's been cool because it's a family effort, but I'm most proud of the impact we have on some of these people. We're talking about individuals that during the week, they walk around, nobody acknowledges them, nobody says hello to them, nobody makes eye contact with them. And we're talking about giving them a little bit of dignity back. That's most important, hands down, without a doubt.
When I was 14 years old, I spent my summer volunteering at the Salvation Army. What I did was help people get their first change of clothes, prepared meals in the soup kitchen, worked in the food pantry, and what I learned about was the need in Schenectady. That was a time where I really decided that I would commit my life to making the change that I could make. I'm Jennifer Lawrence, founder and CEO of Social Enterprise and Training Center, also known as SEAT Center. We're located in Schenectady, New York, and we have satellite sites in Troy and Albany. SEAT Center offers a continuum of programs to work with young adults, mostly 18 to 24, who haven't had opportunity because of their zip code, because of educational inequities in our system. They haven't had it because of skin color, because of socioeconomic status. What we're really looking at doing is bridging the gap, and that's really the heart of our mission, which is making sure young people are included in all of the opportunity in our region to create a seat at the table. And we do that through training, which is technical credentials, high school equivalency classes for people who need to finish their diploma, life skills, paid internships, job placement, 1 year of follow-up, and most important, support beyond the hours of 9 to 5, meal drop-offs, finding safe and secure, affordable housing, intervening and representing and advocating for our young people in the legal system. I always say it's not about a first chance, it's about a first, second, and third chance, because we've all had many chances. Fast forward, and our graduates are making it. They're in careers all throughout Schenectady and beyond, and now in Troy and Albany. So we're sitting on the steps of a graduate who just purchased this home to raise her son in, giving back in her community, donating her time to do her part as well. So this to me is inspiring to just be here and to see our students' growth. I believe that each of us have a job to do on this earth. Each of us can contribute, and I believe in doing your best and doing what your calling and your purpose is, and everything else will follow.
I've been volunteering in different organizations since I was a kid. I've just always been very involved in the community and giving back. I'm Michelle Skinner. I'm the Assistant GM of the Tri-City Valley Cats, and my job includes overseeing our Cats Care community relations campaign. Annually, our community impact is $500,000 back to the Capital Region, and that's goods and services, time spent, and fundraisers here at the ballpark. What I really like about my job is the community involvement side. I try to look at ways that I can take the resources I do have and the time I have to serve the local community. I'm on the board for the Troy Kiwanis Club and the Troy Salvation Army. With the Troy Salvation Army, I joined their advisory board a number of years ago. I had volunteered to just ring the bell at Christmas time, and really my involvement with their food pantry started when the pandemic started and they needed people to help deliver food. So I was able to use the truck, and every Tuesday and Thursday for the last 11 or 12 weeks, we've helped deliver food to people who couldn't make it. I really enjoy helping Make-A-Wish. I like what they do and the mission that they have of serving children. Last year I joined the Wish Jump to raise money for Wishes locally, and I help on their committees for the walk that we host here at the ballpark, and their gala committee involved Girls on the Run in the Capital Region as a running buddy. And I think it's important to get involved in the schools and help girls especially build confidence and character. Connects with what I do with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. I run as a St. Jude hero. I've run 12 marathons, fundraising, raising awareness. I think what I'm most proud of is that I've been able to inspire other people to get involved in the community and join organizations. We all have time, and we all have time to give. And at a deep level, I want the world to be better. And if I can use my time to do that, that's what it's all about.
Thank you, Brian, Jennifer, and Michelle. You are all game changers in our community and make significant impact in the lives of others. The 2020 Philanthropist of the Year is someone that the Capital Region is proud to call our own. As a lifelong resident of the area, giving back to their hometown has come naturally. They are a leader, advocate, and friend that many are inspired by. In addition to raising funds and awareness for their organizations, they also volunteer their time every week to help others in need, and works hard to amplify the gospel of street soldiers. Please join me in congratulating United Way's 2020 Capital Region Philanthropist of the Year, Brian Brosen. Congratulations, Brian. Thank you for all that you do. This honor is well deserved.
Thank you, Anne Marie. I'd also like to thank the selection committee and United Way of the Greater Capital Region. I'm deeply humbled to have been nominated for this award and to be in such great company with the other finalists. It is truly an honor to even be considered next to leaders like Jennifer and Michelle. The Capital District is blessed to have such amazing leaders amongst our ranks. I'm fortunate to be surrounded by so many good people, so many people who care, who love, who show me daily, by their example, how to be a better is my partner, Reggie Monroe. He has walked beside me every day for the past 20 years. It is his quiet example and his cheerleading that has allowed me to do what I do. In our own world, we have seen the real transformation love can have on someone. Our family was built on the idea that love can repair what neglect has torn apart. If you want to make a difference, if you want to really change something, take the time to listen, to care, to make eye contact and connect with someone. You don't need to write a large check, though it helps. You don't need to be able to give 15 hours a week. You don't need to be the best, the first, or even the most together. You simply need to show up. You need to listen, and you need to care. Again, thank you very much for this honor.
Congratulations, Brian. We've been friends for a number of years, and no one deserves this honor more than you do. Your passion, energy, and dedication are an inspiration to so many. Thank you for your important work. Now, we're going to hand it over to present the United Way Campaign Awards. I'm going to call on one of our board members, Brian Sano, Director of Gas Operations at National Grid, to help us recognize our 2019-2020 campaign champions. Brian?
Thank you, Peter. Good evening, everyone. United Way Campaign Awards recognize United Way's corporate supporters and their employees who collectively raised nearly $5 million to benefit United Way of the Greater Capital Region's mission during the 2019-2020 campaigns. United Way's Gold Award recognizes organizations across the Capital Region that achieved a per capita giving level between $100 and $199 per employee. Our Gold Award recipients are Bechtel Plant Machinery, the Bonadio Group, Central Hudson, Cummins, Electric Boat, Enterprise Holdings, Environment One Corporation, Fidelis Care, Glens Falls National Bank and Trust Company, Hinman Straub, HMS Agency, James D. Warren & Son, Milliman, NBT Bank, National Grid, New York ISO, Pearl Insurance, Rose & Kiernan, Sabic, Saratoga National Bank, Tri-City Manpower, and UPS. Our Platinum Award is for companies with per capita giving of $200 or more per employee. Barton and LeJudas, Bobrick Washroom Equipment, CDTA, the Organization of New York State Management Confidential Employees, the Woodward Company, and the United Way of the Greater Capital Region. Our Partner in Giving Award is presented to each United Way workplace campaign that raised between $50,000 to $100,000 through employee contributions, corporate gifts, and special fundraising events. This year, we recognize Enterprise Holdings, Environment One Corporation, Fidelis Care, and New York ISO. Now we're going to recognize our largest company supporters as well as some special award categories. The Leader in Giving Award is presented to each United Way workplace campaign that raised between $100,000 to $200,000 through employee contributions, corporate gifts, and special fundraising events. These companies and their employees truly live united and believe in our mission to fight for the health, education, and financial stability for every person in every community. We look to these companies year after year as philanthropic leaders of the Capital Region, and they continue to answer the call. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking the Leader in Giving Award honorees. Capital District Transportation Authority, Hannaford Supermarkets, KeyBank, MVP Healthcare, National Grid, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, Sabic, and UPS. Our next presentation is the Inspirational Giving Award. This award recognizes organizations that raise between $200,000 and $500,000. We are proud to honor 3 Capital Region companies this evening. From corporate matches to special events, these campaigns have earned this award for providing a corporate social responsibility culture their employees appreciate and want to be a part of. Thank you for all you do for United Way of the Greater Capital Region. Congratulations. Naval Nuclear Laboratory, Golub Corporation and Price Chopper Market 32 teammates, and GE Family of Givers. To round out the campaign awards, it is my honor to present the following special awards to companies and individuals who go above and beyond in what it means to live united. They have set the bar as the community's hand raisers, game changers, and problem solvers, and exemplify true leadership when it comes to giving back, supporting our community, and being a part of something bigger than themselves. Let's start with the United Way Newcomer Award. The United Way Newcomer Award is presented to a company that joined United Way of the Greater Capital Region's efforts for the first time this year. Tonight, we are proud to honor two companies who stepped up to help our initiatives in a big way. From braving it on the frigid curling ice to benefit the Summer Meals Collaborative, to donating over 5,000 pounds of baby food to Women United's community-wide baby shower drive. This year's United Way newcomers are two partners we are excited to work with and build stronger communities together. Congratulations, Saratoga Eagle Sales and Service and Beech Nut. Our next award is the Labor Appreciation Award. Labor leaders serve on United Way's board, coordinate community service projects, and volunteer at many United Way partner programs. This year's Labor Appreciation Award recipients are New York State Correctional Officers and Police Benevolent Association and North Colony Teachers Association, two labor unions who supported United Way of the Greater Capital Region in unique ways. New York State Correctional Officers and Police Benevolent Association provided a $10,000 grant to expand our family and neighborhood resource centers as United Way has recently grown our footprint of support into Columbia and Greene counties. These centers provide one-stop coordinated services to individuals and families in crisis, and we thank NYSCOBA for helping us provide critical resources to the residents of Columbia and Greene counties. The North Colony Teachers Association saw the work United Way was doing to support community members affected by COVID-19 and were inspired to get involved. A challenge was issued to their friends and families to raise over $10,000 to support those who were most severely impacted by the pandemic. The funds raised were donated to the Capital Region Community COVID-19 Response Fund. Thank you, North Colony Teachers Association, for stepping up and supporting this important effort. Our Campaign of Distinction Award acknowledges a company whose campaign has shown significant growth and who continues to create new ideas with innovation and energy. This year, we recognize an organization whose campaign total earned a Partner in Giving award, and through the idea of their president and CEO and United Way board member, Eric LaCoppola, organized a community-wide curling event in early March that raised over $11,000 for United Way's Summer Meals Collaborative. This year's Campaign of Distinction Award goes to Environment One Corporation. Our next award recognizes those individuals who take on the largest responsibility in a campaign, a leadership role within their company, and someone whose passion for United Way's mission is felt by all. This year's Campaign Champion of the Year is Corey Taylor, Wells Fargo Advisors. Since relocating to the Albany area in 2019, Corey has poured time and effort into building a strong relationship with United Way. From supporting the Women United Affinity Group to donating to the COVID-19 Response Fund and supporting this year's 518 Day by participating in our virtual 5K, Corey has shown his dedication to our community time and time again, and we are honored to recognize him as this year's campaign champion. Corey, thank you for your exceptional leadership. This year's United Way President's Award goes to a company whose commitment to our community is long-standing and unwavering. Their passion for the community in which they live, work, and raise their family burns bright. They are always there to support those in need, and the United Way is grateful to have collaborated with them for many years. We are proud to honor Stewart's and the Dake family with this year's President's Award. Typically, United Way's Community Impact Award highlights a Capital Region company or organization who made a lasting difference in our area. This year, we felt it was very important to not single out just one company, but thank and highlight the many organizations who came together in the wake of a crisis and supported the Capital Region Community COVID-19 Response Fund, co-led by the United Way of the Greater Capital Region and the Community Foundation for the Greater Capital Region. The fund was established to rapidly deploy operating grants to 501c3 organizations working with local communities who were disproportionately impacted by the coronavirus and the economic consequences of the pandemic. Thanks to the support of community partners and individual donors, the fund had raised over $1 million and is rapidly deploying grants to organizations on the front line, addressing the urgent needs of our community. At this time, we would like to recognize the following partners for their support of the Capital Region Community COVID-19 Response Fund with this year's United Way Community Impact Award. American National, Arrow Financial Corporation, ACO, Bank of America, Berkshire Bank, Blue Shield of Northeastern New York, Blue Fund, B'nai B'rith Gideon Foundation, Callanan Industries, CDPHP, Citizens Bank, GE Healthcare, Price Choppers Golub Foundation, Howard and Bush Foundation, Hunt Charitable Foundation, JP Morgan Chase, KeyBank, MVP Healthcare, National Grid, New York State Health Foundation, New York State United Teachers, Plug Power, Regeneron, SABIC, the Schenectady Foundation, Stephen McKee Foundation, Tokyo Electron Limited, Times Union, Tri-City Rentals, the Troy Savings Bank, UPS, and Wells Fargo Advisors. It truly is inspiring to see everyone band together when our communities need it most. Thank you all again for your support, and once again, congratulations to all who were recognized this evening. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of such a wonderful event. Peter?
Thank you to all of our campaign champions. Together, our impact is greater than anything we could accomplish alone. And now, new this year, we're proud to officially launch our 5 to Watch program, an initiative that is designed to identify a cohort of organizations and leaders that are poised to shape the future of New York's capital region. Since I began at United Way over 2 years ago, it's been a priority for us to become a more inclusive and representative organization of the community in which we serve, which is why this new investment initiative was created to address the racial, gender, and power disparities in leadership by empowering local communities, amplifying the voices of underrepresented nonprofit leaders, and preparing the broader community for these leaders' continued success. As part of the 5 to Watch initiative, United Way will issue grants annually to 5 community-based organizations with leadership from underrepresented groups and less than $1 million in annual operating revenues. The selected organizations are innovators in their communities and will leverage United Way and our partners to amplify their impact across the capital region. Tonight, I'm proud to announce our first cohort of 5 to Watch grantees: Blue Light Development Group, BirthNet, Mission Accomplished Transition Services, Soulfire Farm, and Youth Effects. Tonight, we're fortunate to be joined by Leah Penniman, co-director and farm manager at Soulfire Farm, who'll share a little bit about Soulfire Farm's mission of ending racism and injustice in the food system and her goals to expand its impact in our community.
Thank you, Peter and the United Way, for this incredible honor. Soulfire Farm is an Afro-Indigenous-centered community farm in Rensselaer County, New York, dedicated to uprooting racism and seeding sovereignty in the food system. One of the things that inspired me to co-found Soulfire Farm back in 2010 was my own family's experience with lack of access to fresh foods in the south end of Albany. Prompted by our neighbors to start the Farm for the People, we came out to Grafton, found this 80 acres, and got to work tilling the soil to make sure that everyone who needed food in the 518 could access it. We, to this day, still offer a doorstep delivery of free and low-cost food to people who are surviving food apartheid. Every week, folks get a box that's chock full of vegetables, herbs, fruits, pasture-raised meat, and eggs so that they can provide for themselves and their families. Additionally, we build gardens for these same families so that they are able to grow food for themselves and participate in their own food sovereignty. Additionally, we host thousands of new and aspiring Black and brown farmers on this sacred land every year. We train them up in everything from seed to market so they can go back to their home communities across the nation and provide for the food security there. And finally, we work to uproot the root causes of injustice. We work on fair legislation for farm workers and farmers, and policies that make sure that everybody gets enough to eat.
Regionally, we're working on returning lands to Indigenous people and to folks who've been dispossessed in this unfair food system. We are excited to collaborate with United Way and strengthen our impact over the coming year.
Thank you, Leah. We're proud to partner with you, Soulfire Farm, and each of the 5 to Watch cohort members. I'd also like to thank the partners whose investment has made 5 to Watch possible, starting with 3 Albany County legislators who went to the extreme and shaved their heads to help support this program. A little unconventional, but helpful nonetheless. I'm talking about Albany County legislators Matt Peter, Nathan Bruschi, and Dustin Reedy. This program also enjoys strong corporate support from CDPHP and MVP Healthcare. Finally, tonight, we're together virtually because of the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. Since the start of the pandemic in March, thousands of Capital Region residents have stepped up to support our neighbors in our region's response to this crisis. Tonight, I want to recognize a few of those game changers, hand raisers, and problem solvers who've gone above and beyond to make a significant impact across the Capital Region. They're business owners whose own livelihood was placed on pause, but they stepped up. Elected officials who created partnerships to get critical testing capability to our neighbors in the communities who needed it most. Talented artists who rallied to support their community members in need. This is by no means a comprehensive list. However, these individuals have displayed tremendous leadership and generosity. We're lucky to have them as a part of our community. Please join me in thanking the following Capital Region COVID-19 pandemic heroes: Jason Pierce, Dominic Pernomo, and the volunteers of Feed Albany. When an entire industry was paused due to the pandemic, Dominic and Jason sprang into action to provide meals to service industry employees in need. With a core of dedicated volunteers, they recently eclipsed the service of 100,000 meals. Truly remarkable. We thank you, Jason and Dominic. Our next awardee is Albany County Executive Dan McCoy and the Whitney M. Young Health Center. We know, like most issues, the negative impacts from COVID disproportionately impact underserved communities. COVID-19 is no different. But under County Executive McCoy's leadership, a partnership was formed to bring testing to underserved communities throughout Albany County. His efforts with Whitney Young Health Center brought mobile testing capabilities across the entire county and even into Rensselaer County eventually, helping to keep residents healthy and safe and adding the needed testing capacity to get our community on the path to reopening. Thank you, County Executive and the entire team at Whitney Young. Next, I want to thank the Creative Impact, the Capital Region Artist Fund. As the impacts of the pause were felt, we know the arts community has been particularly hit hard by the closure of venues, galleries, and other outlets where artists perform. This collaborative of leaders in the arts community formed Creative Impact to help their fellow creators weather this storm. Next, I want to thank Trent Griffin. Trent is just such a remarkable man, and he owns a business called TOCQUEVILLE Hospitality Shuttle. One of the first calls I received at United Way as the pause began was from Trent at TOCQUEVILLE Hospitality Shuttle, a small business owner whose own livelihood was at stake as a result of quarantine. Still, through those trying times, all Trent wanted to know was how he could give back. He immediately sprang into action to support various food distribution efforts and other community needs. We thank you, Trent. And finally, let me thank my peers from the Capital Region Community COVID-19 Response Fund. It started with a little fire lit, a little spark lit by Leslie Chu of the Troy Savings Bank Charitable Foundation that led to over $1 million raised and reinvested into our community's emergency response to this crisis. Thank you, Leslie, for your leadership. And to John Eberly of the Community Foundation for the Greater Capital Region, Ellen Sachs from MVP Healthcare, and Bob Carreau of the Schenectady Foundation, thank you for your trust and leadership in developing a first-of-its-kind response to this pandemic. I want to thank you again for joining us tonight at this virtual event. Don't forget to check out our silent auction, which will remain open till 9 p.m. You can also text to give tonight to support our programs that help those throughout the community who struggle all year long. To make that donation, text awards20 to 41444. I need to thank tonight's sponsors once again, without whom none of this would be possible. Albany Med, American National, CDPHP, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, Arrow Financial Corporation, and Capital District Transportation Authority. And of course, to the Cheese Traveler and Empire Wine for tonight's refreshments, Wild Adriatic for the entertainment during happy hour, and to my team here at United Way. 2 weeks ago, in my wildest imagination, I never thought we'd be able to pull something like this off. But they came together, they worked it out, and here we are tonight. So thank you to Ketty Blackwell, Shane Alberton, Sarah Sheehan, Casey Madsen, and Sarah's family at Sheehan Productions for all you've done, and the entire team for your work to make tonight such a huge success. Finally, let me congratulate our Philanthropist of the Year, Brian Brosen. I've known Brian for so long, and there's no one more deserving of you to win tonight's distinction. And to our Capital Region Philanthropy Hall of Fame class of 2020, Mr. Barba, you're an inspiration to me personally and to all of us throughout the Capital Region. I hope everyone's enjoyed their night. Stay safe, stay healthy, and live united. Thanks so much.